Good morning and welcome to Smashy Business. I'm Lubna Hamdan and with me is
Bashir.
Farah Bashir. Farah, thanks for joining us for a second day in a row. Today today it's getting much better outside here in the UAE. The roads are being cleared up so quickly of the insane flooding that we had. The authorities have really been miraculously kind of just, in 24 hours, they just cleared up so many roads. It's kind of like magic. The sun is shining again. It's really something to applaud, to just take a minute and really appreciate that we live somewhere like the UAE.
100%. I mean, I was talking about it this morning with Casey. A lot of people are complaining, like, oh my God, the roads are not clear. This is not clear. That's not clear. This is damaged and so on and on. But they do tend to forget that the UAE has as well cleared big roads in 3 days only. And mind you, this is like one of the biggest storms that has happened or that has encountered UAE so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? There was a stat that this is actually more rainfall than London gets in the span of, I don't know, I forget how much, but some people were joking saying this is a typical day in London. No, actually, this is not a typical day in London. And obviously the infrastructure here in the UAE is different to London. And London has been very gloomy anyways, so whatever. Stop hating. Stop hating. That's my message to people.
I mean, they even called us dramatic.
Yeah.
They called us dramatic for the reaction that Dubai has, I would say.
Right. It's not really dramatic when people are, stranded in their homes. People have lost so many cars because they stopped working. It's an insurance write-off. And we're going to have a special guest to talk to us about everything from car insurance, home insurance, but most importantly, what to do, how to deal with insurance now with regards to your home. A lot of people's homes have been damaged. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to quickly go to the news. Boycotts have led KFC to close down a branch it opened in Algeria only 48 hours after opening. And Saudi tourism is expecting a 19% rise in visitors this year. Also, we reveal some of the UAE businesses that were damaged by the rain, and we'll explain why. We were showing those videos because some people were complaining about that as well, saying that we're a bad, very negative account. People will just find anything to complain about. It's fascinating. Anyway, Saudi's Neom is eyeing a $1.3 billion bond offering to fuel the futuristic mega projects. And Binance has secured a full cryptocurrency license in Dubai. Also, an undisclosed investor is launching a new airline in Saudi, according to sources, according to some media reports. So that's going to be interesting. And then stay tuned for Amin Rad. I hope I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. He's going to be in the studio with us shortly, talking home insurance and everything to do with securing yourself, your home, how to deal with insurance after the damage from the storms. So, right, Farah, boycotts, I think, are one of our favorite topics.
100%. They are my favorite topics to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we really have seen consumers kind of come together and take a stand when it comes to the Gaza genocide. And the New York Times, there has been a leaked memo, apparently, that the New York Times is telling staff not to use the word genocide or ethnic cleansing when covering Gaza. It's just, hypocrisy at its finest. Anyways, just 48 hours after launching in Algeria, the branch of American fast food franchise KFC had to shut down its doors in the capital city of Algiers amid demonstrations regarding its backing for Israel. Great news.
They are actually great news because, again, I do understand that brands like KFC, McDonald's are trying to do damage control. But at this point, as we've mentioned yesterday, that the people are not only, by the way, the people of everyone around is very woke to what has happened and to the history behind it all since 1947, really. But the best thing ever is the fact that I am actually seeing people actually step a foot in and genuinely practice boycott for like its the finest detail, to the point where, which as you said, like for with the news that, you know, KFC had to like shut down, just like shows a lot. You know, we've mentioned a lot like how it just like shows that, you know, you just cannot mess with this generation, and they are just urging for a ceasefire. And I understand that the ceasefire has not happened yet or has not been announced yet, but with the actions that has taken, it just like shows that, you know, no matter what happens, people are not giving up all around the world.
And it's consumer power at its finest, I think. You know, it's hard to go buy a meal from KFC and not picture those horrific images from Gaza. So honestly, kudos to people in Algeria. There's no call to action here. However, you and your conscience, you know. Right, moving on, because I'm trying not to get myself in too much trouble, Farah.
Yes.
31 million tourists and counting. That's Saudi tourism for you. It's taking flight. It's not really a surprise. Saudi has been doing so much in terms of tourism, but the numbers are really impressing a lot of people. The tourism industry in the kingdom is set to skyrocket with an almost 19% surge in visitors, 18.9% surge in visitors this year. To a whopping 31.3 million. That's according to BMI research, and it follows a successful 2023 that saw tourist numbers return to pre-pandemic levels. So the kingdom has been pulling out all the stops in terms of marketing, you know, everything from that Messi ad, which was absolutely brilliant, you know, with that little girl at the end of the ad that kind of, you know, shoots that football. The hotel boom as well. So many luxurious new hotels, everything from boutique to high-end luxury, and then easier access. Flying to Saudi has gotten so much simpler. So they're really kind of, you know, putting out all those, you know, all those stops. Would you fly to Saudi right now for tourism?
Yes, I would. Honestly, the thing is, this was expected ever since the Crown Prince of Saudi, Mohammed bin Salman, decided to open up a lot of things in Saudi Arabia. And he changed really, I would say, the stigma that was behind Saudi Arabia and how Saudi Arabia was ever since the decision of women driving to, let's say, cinemas happening and concerts and so on and on and on. It's just like it leads that, you know, Saudi Arabia is kind of like reinventing itself ever since, as I've mentioned earlier, the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has made that decision, you know, years ago. And we've even, by the way, seen like channels like NBC or like everything under NBC, Ash-Sharq and so on, they are all moving to Saudi Arabia because a lot of things are actually going to be changing in Saudi Arabia. So now looking at the change, honestly, yes, I would for sure actually go for tourism in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I still remember that iconic scene of the police officers in Saudi giving roses to the women drivers. It was beautiful. I mean, you know, Saudi hasn't had a perfect record when it comes to women's rights. However, you know, I don't think any country has really, but it's made so many strides. You know, it's really been supporting its women, you know, its people, and I would love to go to Al Ula. It's honestly one of my places on the bucket list. It just looks really magnificent, honestly.
You really should. A lot of people do go there.
Yeah. I should. I do need a holiday. If someone is listening, someone who could sign off a holiday. Yeah, no pressure. Right. So UAE businesses, you know, it's not just people who have suffered homes, cars, it's businesses. We saw restaurants absolutely flooded, completely and totally damaged, and we're going to talk about that with our guest a little bit later on. But we put out a post, check it out on Smashy Business. It's a couple of videos of a couple of businesses that have been damaged. So there's a fine dining restaurant in Dubai. Part of the roof can be seen collapsing as a result of heavy rain. There's the Beiruti Flame Grill restaurant in DIP, which has been massively hit by flooding in the area. Why? Because there's a huge lake in the market in DIP, so the lake has over flooded, unfortunately. Same thing happened in JLT, but I think definitely in DIP the damage is much more severe. Life Pharmacy in Green Community, Shweetram, and Emirates MBD branch. We've seen there's a video of an HSBC ATM just completely, almost completely flooded. So it's pretty sad. There's a stray dog center as well, Flying Tiger. We also saw that viral video of the ceiling collapsing in Mall of the Emirates. It's pretty sad. Some people were saying, why are you showing people's and businesses' struggles? What is the benefit of showing this content? Then someone said, it's a deliberate method from the Americans to scare investors away from Dubai and invest into Florida and Nevada. A disclaimer, guys, we're not an American company. We are based here in Dubai. And then someone else said the benefit outweighs it because there are people overseas who have families there that are not responding. Perhaps these clips would be beneficial. This is just the start of something big. Well, I don't know if this is the start of something big. It was a storm, a couple of storms. They passed. We're recovering. However, the reason we put out these videos is, first of all, a lot of these owners were putting out these videos themselves. Some people will reach out to help those businesses as well. It helps to spread information, guys. At the end of the day, this is a page, we're trying to do some journalism. So that's what I have to say to that.
Well, I think honestly, aside from the fact that we are as well posting the damage that has happened in the country, which by the way, I will have a TikTok done by me today about all of the positive things that has happened as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the point, you know what I mean? They know that people are there for each other in times of need. So they, as you said, they are posting it themselves. And perhaps, as you mentioned earlier, that someone might, come across the video of the business that has gone through severe damage and can, in a way, help.
Yeah.
Of course, a lot of businesses have, faced a lot of damage. But, maybe we are posting it just to create awareness.
You know what? There's also, yeah, absolutely. And there were so many other positive videos. You guys can check them out on Love in Dubai. On Smashy Business, we do focus on a business angle. So unfortunately, we cannot post a video of that Nissan Patrol, just cruising through the floods, which was remarkable and amazing. But that's why there's Love in Dubai, and then there's Smashy Business. Anyways, if your business has been affected and we can raise awareness, do reach out. If you want to talk about it, do reach out. Right, up next, Binance. It's a big deal. Binance has obtained a full cryptocurrency license in Dubai. It's a great achievement. It was announced via an update on the Dubai Virtual Assets Regulatory Authority, and it signifies a crucial step for Binance's activities in the region. Binance's CEO discussed the importance of the milestone in an interview with Bloomberg TV during the Token 2049 summit in Dubai. I really wanted to go to that summit. All the tickets were sold out. Pavel Durov from Telegram is speaking at the summit today. I believe actually it was at 10 a.m. and I'm just gutted that I missed it because that guy is just like a ghost, really. You never see him anywhere. He is apparently very paranoid, not that social, paranoid of people recording him. So yeah, that was a big Big miss for me. Anyways, do check out the summit if you have a way of getting in. Binance's chief executive expressed optimism about forging strong partnerships, etc. here in Dubai. So Dubai and Abu Dhabi have been doing really so much for crypto AI. Everyone is coming here to the region to do business. It's very exciting that a top global exchange platform like Binance, that's huge for them to get that license.
I mean, honestly, to be honest with you, the crypto market has been there for so long. However, it has been very, I would say, in the shadow. And I just love the fact that it is now coming to light, because it is actually a very important market that we do tend to really not look at, and maybe we are actually scared of it. But I just love the fact that it's actually getting into light.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always in the spotlight. It's just that because of the lack of regulations around it, and the fear of the unknown, let's say, I think a lot of people have been very skeptical of it. Obviously, the banks are not too happy to have blockchain and a kind of a freer banking system. They want to keep everything under control. But it's really great seeing the UAE just embrace that fearlessly and kind of and just like they did with Telegram, they just took him on board here, Pavel Durov, and he's been here for many years, and living and doing business in Dubai. I'm just going to go through quickly a couple of details about this Binance license and what it grants Binance. It gives it a full virtual asset service provider's license. And with the acquisition of the license, it also gives it the green light to cater to a diverse clientele, including institutional investors, qualified traders, and enthusiasts engaging in retail cryptocurrency trading. This approval not only solidifies Binance's presence in Dubai, according to them, but also paves the way for enhanced service offerings and market outreach generally. The CEO said that Binance's choice of global headquarters may be Dubai or Abu Dhabi. So that's going to be huge if their HQ is based here. So that's also big news. Right, another Saudi story, and the last news story of the day before we have Amin come on the show to talk all about home insurance and how to secure yourself if your home has been damaged. An undisclosed investor is launching a new airline in Saudi. Lots of exciting things happening. Love to see this competition happening. So this is according to Al-Iqtisadiyya. Sources have told them that an unidentified investor plans to launch a new airline connecting Saudi Arabia and Africa. The airline has received approval from local regulators in the kingdom and the African Civil Aviation Commission. Very exciting. The initiative is among several potential transformations in Saudi Arabia's aviation sector. Obviously, we know in March last year, the PIF, the Public Investment Fund, the Sovereign Wealth Fund, announced plans to launch Riyadh Air, positioned as a competitor to Emirates and Qatar Airways. It's scheduled to start operations next year, aspiring to serve 100 destinations by 2030. Saudia is the current national flag carrier, and it's expected to transition out of Riyadh also by 2030 to accommodate Riyadh Air and relocate its operations to King Abdulaziz International Airports.
That is actually very beautiful, because I just in line of when we have spoken or how I have said, the fact that Saudi Arabia is having a different route in a different direction with everything getting open. Of course, this is all due to the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. And it's just to promote tourism, we all have.
With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Grown to think of Saudi in a way, but I think maybe the change is there to is going to happen, and as well, like promoting tourism is the only way. And the new airlines, I mean, it's very exciting. See, like, what is it? How's it going to be? What are they going to be calling it?
Yeah, you know what, also, just speaking of kind of steering away a little bit from this Saudi airline, and by the way, Saudi in Africa makes total sense, but speaking of airlines, because of the congestion at the airport, because of also the Israeli strike on Iran, some flights have been canceled, just to everyone listening. So Emirates has canceled a couple of flights. There's a lot of congestion in the airport. It also canceled connecting flights to kind of make way for flights that are not connections, kind of direct flights. And so much happening in the news, and the entire world is talking about Dubai. The entire world is talking about the weather. I saw the cat clip, the clip of the police officer rescuing the cat that was kind of hanging on the car door. That was the video that CNN chose to highlight.
Yeah, it's very heartwarming, the fact that, like Dubai is not only looking at, to help retrieve and, the situation, the roads, the cars, the houses, and so on. They're even there for cute tiny animals, kittens.
Yeah.
And as well, there's like another video of an animal shelter, because they got
stray dogs.
flooded, rain, and they were transferring their animals and their pets, their dogs, to someone else, so they can, have them somewhere else as well.
Yeah,
it's just like a cute, heartwarming, I don't know, like video amidst all of the chaos that has happened due to the rain.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, Farah, I'm actually trying to get in touch with our guest right now, so I'm kind of multitasking a little bit.
Yeah.
Stay tuned with us, guys. Amin should be with us shortly, but interesting what you said about CNN. A lot of people got upset because they felt CNN showed more compassion to that cat than they did for the people in Gaza. And I know this is not a political show, but it just kind of, it's been really interesting to see how CNN has lost a lot of its credibility. This CNN, BBC, when you have prominent figures here like, everyone from Fadi Ghandour to Habib al-Mullah to, etc., lots of other people saying, we know where to get our news and it's not from you. They lost so much credibility. There's a leaked memo now from the New York Times. These legacy media companies, their PR has really not been that great.
Yeah, I mean, the people, I feel like, in general, just like social media and all of these things they're like a medium that allow us to just, let's say, spread the news and spread awareness. However, just like how we have that to spread awareness and spread news as well, it is a medium as well for other people to spread their opinions and what they think about this and that and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, absolutely. Stay tuned with us, guys. Thank you so much, Farah, for your time. Fascinating conversation as always. Amin should be with us in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. Amin Rad, corporate lawyer with the Badr Al-Zabi law firm here in Dubai. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And thank you for the videos that you were putting out. They were really helpful for people. Started out with the car insurance, helping people, look for specific clauses in their insurance agreements. I heard that the tow trucks were, and we're going to talk about home insurance, which is the bigger issue for people right now after the rain, the floods, and the storms. But I also heard that the tow trucks, which normally charge like 100, 150, were charging people 500 dirhams to tow their cars, which have already been destroyed. Oh, wow. So talk about daylight robbery.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is about consumer protection in the UAE. Actually, they've put out many laws regarding consumer protection, and it's actually not legal for them to do a lot of, it's not legal for them to increase the price a lot, but it has to go through a legal procedure. Somebody has to actually be the judge of that. A lot of the tow trucks, I've had experiences with them. I used to have a car. It's a nice car, but it breaks down all the time. So I gave it away.
Yeah.
But
so is the case with many nice cars, right?
yeah, right. Most nice cars. So I wish I could sue them, but I can't.
Yeah.
You know that when you buy it.
If I could sue so many, if I could sue every person that got on my nerve.
I know, right?
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. But the tow trucks, usually these conversations are they're either verbal over the phone, and it's usually in cash. They don't bring out a card, POS machine for you to pay. So there's no real track of how much has been paid or whatever. So and usually making a case for, like, let's say 400 dirhams, it's not worth your time or your money.
That's the problem, especially taking advantage of people who are vulnerable in that situation. That's shame on you if you have done that. Anyways, moving on. How to deal with with home insurance now after the flooding. Help us out. I mean, so many people are struggling.
See, again, this is a lawyer's favorite word, and you're going to get really tired of it really fast, is it depends, right? There's always categories, and you always have to categorize everything. Either you're a landlord or you're a tenant. If you're a tenant, the only thing that concerns you is your own belongings and your furniture, which you should not technically, but if you do have insurance on it, then they are covered. If you don't, it is your responsibility. You accept that responsibility when you don't get insurance.
How many people insure their furniture?
I don't know any.
Do people actually even think about that? I've never in my life thought that I have to insure my furniture.
Yeah, me neither.
Is that more common outside, not in the UAE, in London?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it depends. If you think about the different, we're not only talking about furnishing your home for 5,000 to 10,000 dirhams. We're talking about people that have artwork in their house, that have gold. They prefer to keep their belongings not in a bank or in a vault. They prefer to keep it in their house, or they have some precious items, a nice watch, maybe a couple of collections.
I mean, we're in Dubai.
Yeah, right. So it's more common than not.
Watches.
Yeah, it's more common than not. So these are
insuring home furniture. Okay, interesting, and belongings and art, etc. Okay, and go ahead.
Other than that, it's the landlords. So the landlords should have an insurance if they want their property protected, right? We don't have our properties insured. So we are lucky that nothing happened to our properties. But if something were to happen, right, the shut, then it could, potentially we would be having, we would have a lot of trouble there.
Right, the shut. How would you translate that to our expat, non-Arabic speaking expat listeners?
God forbid.
God forbid. Yeah. Nice one. I was trying to think of a word. Okay. What about? We spoke about landlords. What about the developers? How much responsibility are the developers taking? I mean, we're seeing so many. There's Mudun, people in Mudun buy Dubai properties. We're not here to shame any developer. Obviously, these are natural causes, but. A lot of Amar developments. I mean, we can go on and on and on, Azizi, etc. So a lot of the developers are now struggling. The UAE president has kind of launched, has called on authorities to look into study the damage and how to lessen the damage in the future to the infrastructure.
Of course. I mean, I would just like to put this out there. I try to do this as much as possible because recently I've seen, the need for this. I want to applaud the UAE, really, their government, for how they react to any kind of emergency. They've done an amazing job. I don't know if you've seen this recent post. It basically says the rainfall, and I checked this, I fact-checked this because, there's a lot of rumors whenever something happens for clicks, but I checked this myself. The average rainfall in London, which is known for rain.
Oh, I just spoke about that on the show, but please go ahead.
It's like 50 millimeters on a monthly average. So it's like 5 months of rain that should have happened in one day. And so of course, and for a country that doesn't expect rain, has just started cloud seeding, which, by the way, they've announced it's not due to cloud seeding. This rumor is still going around. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So for what the context is, it was an amazing response. I think so.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, some areas were completely flooded, and just in literally 24 hours, 48 hours, they just removed. I mean, on Sheikh Zayed Road, there are two places I think with a little bit of flooding still last night, but I mean nothing compared to just a few days ago. So yeah, absolutely incredible. The speed of work is really,
yeah. But I think there's two things. Again, it depends. It's like one part is I understand people that are frustrated if they've gone through something and they're not covered, insured, etc., etc. They can lash out, online or. But at the same time, it's because how amazing Dubai is with everything that we're so spoiled.
Yes, we are.
Like I lived
really
in France
are.
for 6 years, and if something like this happened, which by the way it did when we had the protests in the nothing was working. It went off for like 8 months. No one complained. Everyone was just like, yeah, this is it. This is life.
Really? No one complained. The French didn't complain.
It was just crazy.
The French didn't complain. I find that hard to believe. They complain all the time.
No, because you can't complain on complaining.
Yeah,
that's true. It's not logical.
That's true because you are protesting.
Yeah,
so
you'll short circuit very quickly.
That is true. Okay, right. Back to home insurance. A lot of people are struggling. It's kind of very, very sad to see. So we spoke about who is responsible for home damage, but how can you deal with your home insurance now? If your home has been destroyed, what is the first thing that you should do?
So if you're a landlord, you should have insurance. If you don't have insurance, then it's kind of hard to get something out of it, right? If you're a developer, of course, as a developer, you have to have insurance on this. This is the developer game. They know what they're doing. They have their own legal team. They know exactly what they're doing. If you're a tenant, the only thing that concerns you is your belongings. So you should have an insurance on it if it is important belongings. If it's not worth, if your furniture costs 5,000, 10,000 to furnish your house, and insurance costs 10,000, you would just rather get new furniture if anything happens. Yeah. Right. So. And
how much does it cost to insure your furniture, depending on the value of your
furniture? I'm a lawyer, not an insurer.
Okay.
So I couldn't tell you the prices.
Just wondering, because I'm just wondering how much, what is the starting price? Like, because this is a new field for a lot of people in Dubai, right? Because we talk about car insurance, everyone knows the prices, other insurance as well. But this is new for us. Okay, moving forward, if you do not have that kind of insurance, whether you're a landlord or a tenant, moving forward, what to look out for in the future when getting home insurance? Those clauses. The fine print, the devil is in the details.
Yeah, so the main thing you need to look out for is if it's comprehensive. And you also need to look out for the acts of God clause or the force majeure clause. I had a back and forth with somebody in the comments.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I noticed that.
So the force majeure clause, if you would like.
Yeah. Or
any kind of natural disaster clause. And to make sure that it is included that, this insurance covers any kind of damage. So even if it's things that are out of the control of the insurance, out of the control of the party, which is you, that you're signing it.
Yeah. Okay, great. How to tell a bad insurance company from a good one?
Usually companies that have liquidity. Now, liquidity means they have money. If they have money means if something goes wrong, imagine you're an insurance company and you have insured 1,000 people and all of a sudden 1,000 people need, each one has their own amount but everyone ends up paying approximately the same price. Mathematically, you'll run out of money, right? So if you have an insurance that is backed and has money, those are the companies that can provide you. Usually people cheap out and they prefer to pay a cheaper insurance. Sometimes I get that because sometimes, for example, if you're buying a car, it needs to have insurance. But if you're renting if you're buying a cheap car and you don't care, even if you lose the car, it gets canceled.
Yeah.
You don't care. It's not worth getting. So people just get a cheap insurance just to pass the test.
Yeah.
The RTA approval.
But I mean, how would we, as consumers, know about the liquidity of an insurance company?
Usually, you can find statistics of companies like how big is this insurance company. Go visit their office. Go see them.
Okay.
I did my own insurance for my car over a phone call. I've never seen the office.
Right. I mean, same. And that's why I asked the question, because a lot of people just do that over the phone without really kind of double checking. So do your research.
Do your research and don't necessarily fall for marketing, because you see a lot of I'm not here to, of course, talk about any company. It's not my
Insurance market.
It's not my point.
If I hear that one more time.
Yeah, so like,
Yeah.
if you focus on a company and you can find out what the company actually does, who they're backed by, this is very important.
Mm-hmm.
If they're backed by private individuals, who are those individuals? Yeah, it's not mandatory research for the regular guy or girl. It's more like if you're insuring again a collection, a huge amount of things that your assets.
Yeah, something very valuable.
Yeah, of course.
So since we have you in the studios, a lot of people have been wondering, what is your legal advice? Let's say you're home, you're stranded, the developer isn't helping, the landlord isn't helping. What can you do right now? What are your rights?
Your rights right now is you didn't get insured. I would love to help you. You didn't get insured. At this point in time, the main thing you need to look into is to fix your situation as soon as possible. I mean, it's really hard to get out of this with any kind of specific aid. I haven't looked into this, but I'm sure that there should be some kind of governmental help or aid or hotline that you can contact. But when it comes to somebody funding the fixing your situation, I'm not sure actually. I don't think there's.
Okay. Well, no, I mean it's worth looking into, and you know what? Maybe we'll have you back in the studio with us, perhaps next week after some of this has cleared up, because some developers and kind of understandably, because it's absolute mayhem and chaos in some areas. It's the most rainfall the UAE has seen in 75 years.
Yeah.
So I think people are kind of being a little bit more forgiving as well, because the infrastructure was not built to obviously handle such rainfall, which compared to London is also just absolutely huge. It's funny because people were taking videos of the scenes at Dubai airport, and everyone is complaining, in the airport, going crazy, really, like, especially people on Twitter or X, whatever, they're just really going on these rants. And I'm like, hold on, this looks like London Heathrow on a normal day.
Yeah.
That's what London Heathrow airport looks like on a normal day. I mean, stay safe, everyone. And thank you, Amin, for being with us in the studio.
Thank you for having me.
Stay safe, stay patient, and get yourself insured in every single aspect.
Yeah.
Insurance is so boring, but let's be honest, it's boring. But
have some kind of coverage. Either you would rather pay insurance money and you have that covered and it's a good insurance and you're covered completely in all kinds of cases, damages, whatever it is, or keep some money aside. Like every month, instead of paying insurance, you don't trust the insurance company, or I'm going to have to go through legal procedures to get my money back or to get my belongings fixed or whatever. Keep that money aside. But I know you would not do that, right? You're going to take that money and you're going to spend it to go out.
He knows people in Dubai too well. I was going to say that's great advice. Then I said, what?
I'm human myself. I understand. But really, it's important. Financing is very important. But yeah.
You missed a pun right there. You missed keep it for a rainy day. For a rainy day.
Amazing. See, that's why we have you.
Thank you for your time, Amin. Thank you so much. Thanks. Thank you, guys. Listen to us wherever you get your podcasts, when you're driving in the car, stuck in your house, wherever you are, listen to us. We're everywhere, literally. Smashy.tv, YouTube, Anghami, Apple, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. I could go on and on and on, but alas, I'm not gonna take up more of your time. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you and speak to you tomorrow.